Thank you. He also got the
Thank
floor.
you.
I had both of my
Thank
big
you. My name is
noses
Thea
in there.
O'Connor. I'm the Bartholomew County Auditor. This is the first meeting of the year for this body, and this is the last time that I will be opening this meeting. So if you would all please rise if you're able, and I will lead you in an invocation and pledge of allegiance. Dear Father, thank you on behalf of all who are gathered here today. Thank you for your many and abundant blessings. Thank you for life itself, for the measure of health, for need to fulfill our callings, for sustenance, and for friendship. Thank you for the ability to be involved in useful work and for the honor of bearing appropriate responsibilities. Please be with those that are suffering both physically and psychologically. Please give them the strength and guidance through what may be dark days. Hope and healing are on the horizon. Please be with all of our elected and appointed officials and all those that work in all levels of government, and in particular for these assembled council members. I pray for the agenda set before them today. Please give an assurance of what would please you and what would benefit those who live and work in and around our beloved Bartholomew County. It is in your most blessed name I pray. Amen.
Amen.
Pledge allegiance
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Now I will ask for nomination of the 2026 County Council President. Do I have a motion?
I'd like to make a motion to reappoint Leah as president for.
Thank you. Mark Corbett made a motion. Is there a second?
I'll second.
Thank you. Kim Bennett made the second. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, the same sign. Leah, the gavel is now yours.
Thank you, Pia. Thank you, Chief Council members. All right, next I will take nominations for President Pro Tem.
I'd like to nominate Mark Corbett as president pro tem.
Second.
All right. Michael has moved, and Greg has second. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed, same sign. Congratulations, Mark. All right, next up, approval of the meeting minutes from December.
Make a motion to approve those minutes.
Any discussion? All those in favor of approving the minutes signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed, same sign. Motion passes. All right, new business. Amanda, you are first on the list.
Hello.
Hello.
Hello, welcome.
So this will be short and sweet. So I am just requesting additional appropriation to the 1161 Health First Indiana funds, to the line item 24100 in the amount of $2,941.87 to make my total line item $8,570.50. And this is because there was one county that opted out for 2026. And so then the state just divvied out the extra funds, and that is the nursing portion.
Okay, so we're really just appropriating a portion of that. Yeah, so the total is now 8570, but we're appropriating 2941 more. Am I reading her, understanding
Yeah,
her? and
so
reading?
Tell the total amount,
the
please.
state, not to make it even a little fuzzier, the state gave the health department
Yes,
an additional $5,883.74. Of that, Link and I split it half down the middle, so nursing portion is $2,941.87.
okay, perfect. So Link's gonna need to come appropriate that. Perfect, thank you.
Yes.
So the 2941.87 or the full amount 85.77.
That's the 87, the 85, I should have not even put that on there, but that's the total of my
That's the
line
new
item
line
once
item.
you
Okay,
add
so
the
she does
29.
2941.
Yeah, she's adding 2941 for a new total of 8570.50.
Okay, so we need a motion then, or for 294187
Yep,
tonight, as so moved.
right.
I'll
Is-
second that.
Perfect. Any discussion? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed, same sign.
So Link will have to
Motion
come back
passed.
in for the balance
Yeah, at some point, Link, when he wants to spend that money, we'll have to come do it.
or not come back one more time.
If he wants to spend it, he'll come back. Thank you, Amanda.
Thank you.
All right.
Brad is not, he pulled his documents go.
Oh, he pulled it.
Approval from the state yet.
Oh, he still hasn't? Okay, perfect. So Brad's gonna come back. Okay, Mr. President, Commissioner President,
Well,
welcome.
welcome to your first meeting of the year. I'm here representing the commissioners and our highway department. I think you all knew you'd be seeing me,
Yes, we did.
just not sure you knew you'd be seeing me this early in the year, but there are reasons for that. I'm here today to request $1.5 million from County General to be used exclusively on our road paving project for 2026. As you all know, the state legislature made major changes to the community crossings grant. They said you should be able to get some money for 2026. That did not come through. We got $0, as you all know. At budget time last year, you'll remember that we had asked for this money, and you said, we're not gonna put it in your budget. We're gonna wait and see what the state does. But if they do what we think they're gonna do, come back and see us. And well, I'm here. So the reason I'm asking for 1.5 million is that would keep us at the level we have done the last several years of $3 million into our paving projects. We have $1 million in our highway fund. We would normally get a 1.5 million from our community crossings grant, and we put in an additional $500,000 from our seeded fund for the total of $3 million. You might ask why I'm here this early in the year. It's because honestly, petroleum products are down right now. We feel like we can get on the books earlier than we normally would. And for these paving projects, and we are seeing lower bids across the board. As a matter of fact, the city of Columbus just did their $2 million estimated bid, and it came in at 1.3 million.
Oh, so significantly lower. So we
Well,
might be able.
we can't guarantee that, but
No,
it could be.
Well, I just was gonna ask you, like, what are you hearing in the rumor mill?
Well, that's the one that we've heard, is that
Okay.
the city of Columbus put out $2 million estimate, and their bid actually came in at 1.3 million.
Fantastic.
So we're looking at the ability to do more than we would normally do at current petroleum prices. If we wait till summer, who knows what's gonna happen?
Yeah, make hay when you can.
The other thing is we already have our plan designated. We will use the same plan that we had identified for community crossings. One side benefit of doing it this way, not using the state funds, is that when we use the community crossings grant, they required us to give the whole project to one vendor. We weren't allowed to break it up. Now, back in the early days, 5 years ago, when I started, we didn't have to do that. We could say, we could put it out by area, and this vendor could bid this amount, and this vendor could bid this amount, and we could break it up. Using local dollars, we can do that again. So that's another potential savings. We're looking to do as many miles as we can. We know we can't do this indefinitely, but we feel like, the county's in a stable enough financial situation where we can do this at this point.
So you're gonna use the full amount, no matter.
Danny, we intend,
I-
we intend to
do the best
spend,
you can to go further if you can.
yes, we intend to spend $3 million. And if that gets us, that would normally get us about 27, 28 miles.
So
If
maybe
we
we'll
can
get
If we can
35.
get 35, we'll do it.
Perfect.
Okay.
Yeah.
Did you finally get any answers from all your inquiries that you put in? You said you wouldn't stop, so.
The number of inquiries thus far is 12. The number of return phone calls is 0. I have not been able to even get through to anyone
No
and they
human.
won't give me their direct line.
Well, you kept your word, you're gonna be right back, and had the crystal ball.
We didn't
We
lie.
all knew it.
No,
We didn't lie.
So if there's no, go ahead.
Yeah, so Tony, Danny, have you guys already identified any potential extra mileage?
Well, we have a list. Danny, go ahead.
Yeah, we always have a list and we've got to cut it down to get it down to the 30 miles and we can,
So you've already identified priorities. and
Right.
Any potential.
yeah,
There's always plenty to do.
the superintendent drives every road every spring and rates them 1 to 10, and then we come up with a list. So we've got a list of rated roads. We get pretty easily to move up, what necessary. And then if we bid it and it comes in a little high, we don't have to award every road. We can say, we're gonna cut these 2 or 3 roads out, and that way.
So we're asking for that 1.5 million to come out of county general and go into our 42,000 account.
So
And this is
moved,
due to NDOT denial of funding through the community crossings matching grant.
so moved, if there's no further questions.
okay. Mark has moved and Greg has seconded to move 1.5 million from Bartholomew County General Fund to the 42,000s for road funding,
Road overlay, yeah.
road overlay. Any other discussion, questions? All right, all those in favor signify by saying aye. All those opposed, same as sign. Motion carries.
Thank you, council. Appreciate it.
Time out.
Oh,
I got you on hot seat now. We've met with you.
award tie, get your use out of it.
Lee and I met with you recently, and I think we've talked to all council people over the detention shelter update. If you can give us a brief without any detail of where the commissioner.
We thought we had identified a currently built building in Bartholomew County. We could move the youth services center and sort of upgrade it to deal with that. It turns out that building is not going to work because of flood zone issues. And grateful to our planning department for catching that before we got too far down the line. But turns out you can't put a detention center in a flood zone. Go figure. So anyway, we're backed up, but we have identified a new possibility that we're excited about. And we'll be filling in Mark, you and Leah shortly on those plans. And then as we get closer and we feel like this is something that we can really pursue, then we'll make it public.
Another building.
No,
New construction.
no, new construction.
Thank you.
Anything else? You want to talk about IU or the Hoosiers or anything?
Moving on.
Moving on, moving right along. Thank you all, council, very much. Appreciate it.
Pete's still wearing his red, so he's had that on for about 3 weeks.
Chat with you about that.
Okay, sounds good, Pete.
We have one more additional that's not on the agenda, but did get advertised for E911.
Okay. Is it in our folder?
You'll remember back probably in August or September, I brought before you a 5-year plan on equipment that we knew was going to have to be replaced at some point. And there was one item that was at the top of that list that we knew we were gonna have to replace in 2026. We were notified in about August or September that it would no longer be serviceable and it was obsolete at the end of 25. So I am asking, this will be for a uninterrupted power supply. The current one we have has been there about 12 years and it's no longer serviceable. The amount, total amount for that piece of equipment is $51,137. And so I'm asking for additional appropriation to be moved into my 1222-44,000 account, the machinery and equipment. We worked with Scott to make sure that this will meet the needs of our agency. And this is also subject to a 45-55 split with the city of Columbus.
So that's the total amount, and we'll get a
The
rebate.
total amount, yeah.
Rebate.
And yeah, and we were able to encumber some monies. I don't have the exact amount, so I do believe, it's gonna be less than the 51,000, but that is the, invoice, and then what we're unable, or what we won't use will be returned.
Does that come from county general? Appropriated.
Yes, yes.
Have you
Okay.
found it, Leah?
Where will
I
it come
can't
from?
find it in there, but it's in the text, the notice. I see the amount, but I don't see his form in our folder. I just saw the amount in the notice to taxpayers.
I didn't see any of the documentation. But I didn't look very hard for it either.
Could you help me understand the type of equipment this is? That's
Sure, and Scott will probably be able to add more, but basically, what it does is when we lose main power and we go to generator power, which I'd say probably 8 to 12 times a year is when that happens. That keeps all of our equipment up and running and, keeps it from basically blowing up. Scott can probably give you more of a detailed answer, but
Yeah, that transition period between when the generator kicks in or if line power stutters or browns out, it's very damaging to computer equipment and electronics, which the 911 center is obviously full of. So, that basically it's a bank of batteries that condition of all the power that comes into the building, whether it's running off a line power or generator, and then it presents all the equipment with clean power. So that's kind of the core of what that does.
So this is the right size
Yeah.
item, and how long is the transition time with power? Is that milliseconds?
It really is, yeah. It's like, I mean, sometimes you don't even see the flash when it switches over.
I bought one for my home,
Okay, yeah.
and it's 12.5 milliseconds.
Yep.
For when the power goes out.
This one's almost instantaneous.
Yeah, so that's,
And-
that's instant.
Yeah, and it's not designed for long haul. I think it has about an hour of buffer runtime in case the generator doesn't start. It gives you time for manual intervention, or graceful shutdown, whichever needs to
Yeah, I was
happen.
gonna say, you probably have protocols on.
yeah,
Okay,
before
this thing
we.
comes up now, we've got to manage what's.
Yeah,
critical.
before we replaced our generator, this summer, it went down and didn't start. And at that point in time, we only had 15 minutes, with that UPC. And so, we worked with Scott, and we have an hour now where if that goes down, that does give us time to get it manually going to make sure all of our systems stay up.
They can find you within an hour, right?
Well, usually,
The people are the one I'm hunting down.
Yeah.
yeah, usually I'm pretty quick. I know when Todd calls me, it's something big.
I got a question along those same lines, and I'm sorry, this is diverging on something else, but was there further discussion at one time we talked after floods on having a remote site up and running if something tragic would happen over there? Has that ever been in fruition, or we moved in that direction or anything?
So, there have been talks, nothing recently. We do have the equipment to remotely set up, but it will take us some time. I mean,
Okay.
we're probably talking 6 hours, 8 hours to
Get
remotely set up. But it can be done to handle, to make sure that, emergency services continue, during that
I
time.
knew there was discussion, I just lost track of where it was at. There's no
Mobile
further
command center.
discussion. I would make a motion for the $51,137 for the additional.
Second.
Mark has moved, Marcus has second. Any other discussion or questions? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed, same sign. Motion passes.
Thank you.
Thank you. All right. Now on to miscellaneous. Amanda, I'm gonna have you come back up.
No,
We
I
got
do
you.
one.
They like you.
We do have Pia,
Yeah.
sorry.
So I have.
I know, sorry.
So there is a fund called the Real Property Endorsement Fund that currently has $247,000 and change in it. That fund is the revenue for that fund comes about because of transfer fees. When a property is transferred, there's a fee that comes into our office that those monies go into this fund. So, and it can be used for things in the auditor's office. So Carolyn is going to be retiring. And in the transition, she is willing to come back and help Laura Sprague, who's going to become the Director of Finance, and Lisa Kelly, who's going to be the Accounts Receivable, Accounts Payable Administrator. Carolyn is also willing to come back to work as the coordinator of our fixed asset program, something that State Board of Accounts has been wanting us to do and we've been needing to do for quite some time. And also Carolyn will then come back and assist with budgets and some other special projects. So we were asking that we appropriate $75,000. We're hoping to present to the commissioners and hopefully they will approve a contract similar to that we have in some other offices that would be able to utilize this. And then we could also use some of this money to pay for the system that we're going to use for the fixed asset program.
So will this be a contractual person then ongoing to fulfill what state board's been telling us for years to account for all our property in the county? That person will be responsible for that
Yes.
ongoing then, so we can meet the state's obligation, which we kind of shoved off to the side for years, that we can stop hearing them
Correct.
tell us that.
So a contract have benefits?
No,
Have we spent money out of this property endorsement fund before?
no, not really, no.
So we can.
I mean, other than just one-off things like some maybe scanning, some, when we did the scanning
Yeah.
project,
Yeah.
where we took out all those books and
Yeah.
we had a few things for that.
Will they report to the auditor or to the commissioner then?
To the auditor.
To the auditor, then to the county. We can at least look at this, we only earmark this funding for at least 3 years doing it.
Where
Yep, that's,
it would
you're
have to be
reading my
budgeted
mind.
after that.
Yeah. when we
Right,
look-
yeah, no,
Cause the fund won't be able to fund it ongoing, correct? We have to move that general fund for next,
How much
this would just be
for
a
this year.
short, maybe only 26.
Yeah,
After 26, do you gotta ask my successor?
So you don't know that this will be an ongoing?
I would not envision it to be ongoing.
Out of curiosity, how much does the real property, property transfer fee bring into the auditor's office a year?
Looks like 36,000.
36,000.
Annually?
That was the reset. I assume that's for the last year, right?
If that's what is in front of you and that's the number, that's
I don't
correct.
have a problem with it.
So Carolyn's retiring and nobody else is being hired. It's just other people are gonna take over what she's doing. Did I hear that correctly?
Shuffling employees to fulfill her job.
As of right now, we've not yet determined if we're going to backfill a position or if we're going to ask to have an adjustment to the other salaries in the office.
So then she'll just be paid as an independent contractor.
That's correct.
Got it.
And this is a total new surprise from 6 months ago at the budget time.
Yes.
I think.
I did not-
Boils down to what, I don't want to put her on the spot, it boils down when somebody said they're gonna
I
retire.
mean, she might have, I might have heard rumblings about it. But we didn't have a concrete plan at that time, no.
Carolyn, do you have a date?
March 20th.
When would this take effect? March 21st?
March. Actually, probably a little bit less than that, because aren't you gonna go on a little vacation after that time?
Oh, no, yeah.
See, it's all fluid. And it can be when you're a contract employee.
Just get the cart before the horse, we need a contract first to approve for all that.
no, we have to, I think we need to appropriate the funds so then the commissioners know that we've got the money to pay the contract.
And if for some reason that we're not able to have a contract and have a contract employee, then we would have to figure out something else to do, and then we would obviously not spend this money. But this is the plan.
But for now, her body in your office is not being reduced. Her role is, among other people, that you will be down 1 FTE.
That's correct.
I'll I'll make a motion to approve the real estate property door change the additional for the 75,000. And that would be an annual.
Well, to be
No.
determined.
It's just
This is a
for
one-time.
2026.
Okay, is there a second?
Second.
Okay, Mark moved, Mark is second. Any other questions? Discussion?
I just had a real hard time believing that we couldn't have seen this 6 months ago during the time process. That we couldn't, I mean, if the state auditor said that we've had an issue with our asset tallies, and we've known we needed to fix this, how come we didn't account for this within our budget?
Well, the plan was that Carolyn was gonna work on this as a full-time employee.
Okay.
But now she's going to retire. So she's very willing, and we're grateful for that she's going to come back as a contract employee to work on a, limited basis to help us through this process.
So
Had that not been the case, we would have been hiring someone to replace we would have had to try to backfill it somehow.
We would have had the head count as a full-time employee instead of a contractor.
I think I can help you look
Correct.
at this, because I've been on the last couple of exit interviews with state board accounts. I don't want to say out of context, sometimes you can't talk about certain things, but I do know that the issue was that they talked about it for at least the last 2 years, that we've had all these assets. Problem is, to put the burden back onto the auditor's office, which I've heard through that, I mean, it's a monumental job. Even with Commissioner Stephen going down what Scott's got, hundreds of laptops and computers, and to identify those, make sure nothing walks away. But this is like, the light was on to me that we needed somebody to account for the county's property. And in defense of, if I'm leaving my job, I'm not gonna give my employer 6 months' notice.
No.
Some people do, some don't like their employees or the bosses, and they wait till the last minute. Not saying that's what Carolyn did, but, I can see both sides of this, but I do know what state boards were saying, that we needed to get this done. Sooner or later, they were gonna nix us for it, and it's accountability thing. We should account for our property. We got a way to do it now. We have an avenue I can see that we can do. For 75,000 brings up speed, then figure out what we're gonna do then, to account for everything and ongoing. If it's back to the elected officials, each department to turn something in annually, back to their staff, we'll do that. We've got to count for stuff now. Am I agreeing? Tony, is that what you're?
I think the initial part is gonna be the hardest part, which is really kind of to create a process for doing that. Then it'll get easier. But it's a never ending number. We sell auction vehicles, we buy new vehicles, computers, all the devices and everything. Even up and including our roads are considered assets. So this initial process is gonna be a challenge to define exactly how we're gonna do it. And after that, I think it'll be probably not necessarily a full-time requirement, but for now, somebody needs to do it.
Somebody needs to organize and get it together and divvy it out between department heads or elected officials that account for what their offices, property they have, and report it back to the auditor. And then if that individual could do 2 jobs, because when I was hearing this was like a full-time job, because I know what the sheriff's department property they have, they came and went.
My concern is, did Carolyn get permission to retire? That's the part I
think it's.
mean, wouldn't the council have to vote on that?
Nope.
But there should, I agree, there should be a process once we're through this project that the departments can manage themselves.
They'll
So
still
when-
need somebody in the auditor's office to stay on top of it, but
Right,
it won't be
they
a
should
full-time,
Submitting,
it won't be a full-time requirement.
they should be submitting like this piece of equipment was replaced by this piece of equipment. or
Right.
whatever.
Right. Sometimes you gotta pull that information like teeth.
Yeah.
Thank you. Motion on the floor.
You
Yeah,
did,
call the
any other
question.
discussion?
Oh, you second, I'm sorry.
Oh, yeah.
He second, all
All
right,
right.
all those in favor of the $75,000 transfer signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed?
This was an appropriation, not a transfer.
Sorry,
That's okay.
appropriation, thank you. Motion carries.
Thank you.
Okay, I have all the additional appropriations covered, correct?
Yes.
Got too many notes. Okay, now Amanda Organist is back to discuss an admin role.
Okay. Also, always I move my stuff out because I get too nervous and I'm having hot flash at the same time, so. There we go. Oh. So today, I'd like to have a discussion regarding our insurance billing in the nursing division. Last year during the budget time and personnel committee is when we first started venturing into learning how to bill insurance in-house instead of using a third-party billing company. We have been having trouble the last few years with a third-party biller not billing claims correctly and wanting to charge us anywhere from $500 to $800 every time we needed their help with some things with the insurance companies. We have been with the biller since before 2015, and they had had many staff turnovers. Communication with them was failing, and we knew it was time to try to provide this in-house. It honestly wasn't on my radar last budget time to discuss this job position because honestly, I wasn't sure if it was going to be a successful venture. We didn't renew our contract in May with a third-party biller, and we were working on getting the access and contacting insurance companies about the change May and June, and really started the process in July with billing in-house. I will admit it was a rocky start, but when we finally received our first payment, $150, we were excited and we knew we could do it. So since we started, we've received $45,465.57, August and December, because July was only the $150. Things are going much better, and we're only waiting on one more website to be worked through the IT department to be able to process claims for that insurance company. And now that we are 6 months in, I can honestly say it's working. I missed the mark for making the change to the job description reclassification last year because we were still trying to see if we could provide this service in-house, and I didn't want to jump the gun, make changes, and then have to come back and say, just kidding, it didn't work out. Now things are going well. I feel it is important to have an accurate job description and classification, and I would like to not go a whole year to go by for this role to not be correctly classified and pay in case something would happen and I would have a vacancy in this position. I feel I have the right staff for this position. I would like to make sure I can retain them with the additional duties of the billing specialist. I updated the job description with the help of Vicki that Daleen put in your file to adequately represent the additional duties that have been placed on this position, and I understand that it needs to go before the personnel committee and be approved by the personnel committee before council will discuss anything pertaining to it. I believe this position needs to be reclassified to include the billing specialist portion because the duties far exceed the job description of administration assistant and to match what this position includes. We the nurses always joke about the line that says additional duties as assigned because that is part of being a nurse. You never know where it's going to be thrown at you. This position started out as a front office and has morphed over the last few years to be known as admin assistant in 2017 to now needing to reflect the billing specialist component for 2026. I will be asking for a pay increase for this position at budget time due to the increased duties with the billing. And I do have funds in a grant account that we can utilize to cover the salary change if it is needed with reclassification for 26, and would look at this as well for 2027 budget period. I know I like having a plan and having things in order the best I can, but I dropped the ball on this. I'm not sure if anything can be done now or not, but wanted to put this on your radar. Along with the job description, I have provided some information on the billing aspect, what we were paying the third-party biller, which was originally 8% of the claims, and then they increased their fees to 10% the last couple of years versus what was billed versus what the health department received, and insurance payments to show that this is a great step in the right direction for increasing our revenue in the nursing division. And that's all I have.
So is this an additional person or just somebody you already have?
It's somebody I already have.
So you're
And-
looking for approval for a new job description within your department, but not hiring a new employee?
Correct. Reclassifying.
A couple of questions. Since you did it partial year of 2025, do you know what 10% of your insurance income in 2024 was? It doesn't have to be exact. I'm trying to think of how much did we pay the billing company from an annual
Yeah,
in terms of percentage and additional fees, because you probably were spending a lot of time on the phone.
Are you talking about 24 or 25?
Yeah, to understand how much we
Yeah,
pay them.
so there's a document in our directory, health department. And it's got 22, 23, 24, and the partial from 25 in terms of what was billed and what the fees were associated with those.
Yeah, so it was like, in 24 it was like 13,000.
13,000.
Yeah,
And
so
then-
it's about 10%. Of third-party admin
So
fees.
if we reclassify, this might be a question for Vicky. If we reclassify, do we think that we can reclassify it and it will still fit into current salary for the person plus whatever we may have been paying in terms of?
Based on what you know on salary bands.
That's a great question. I can't answer that because I'm not sure what, I mean, when I redid the job description, we, set it to be, exactly as far as what she does, but I'm not sure what it would be classified as.
I'm looking for the salary ordinance to see.
And what,
Yeah, if you,
what kind of salary or wage differential here are we talking about?
off the top of my head, I don't know without looking at the salary
Top of
ordinance.
your head based on other roles in the community, like at doctor's offices that do something similar.
yes, and I did a Goog. Search too. So I have it written down, just 1 second.
Yeah, like what do you think the increase would need to be
So
roughly?
I ran some salaries and the top earners in the state for only the billing specialist portion, not including the other admin assistant duties, was 59,000 annually.
And what are you paying
That
about
per-
what the person
what's the salary
who's
range?
doing it now? Or the range maybe?
Yeah,
that
what's the
would be better.
range?
51.
Okay, so we're,
So with the 13, we are already within,
we're
We're
actually like,
saving money.
we're saving money even with the reclassification.
and quite honestly, we might be able to pull in more interns because we have somebody
Exactly.
dedicated to.
Doing it.
Is that on a contractual basis? Do you have an annual contract too, or do you?
No, not anymore with the third party. We brought it all in-house to this. They're managing it since July. She's been doing it in-house, making sure she can do it before she has this conversation.
Yeah.
No brainer to me. I mean, we're saving
Yeah.
money.
I agree.
So here's my question, Marcus, I know you're on the personnel committee.
Correct.
Do you,
We only meet when needed, right?
so we could set up a meeting in the next month.
That body never really meets.
So, but if we need to,
Whatever
do,
you guys want to do.
well, I'm for reclassifying it.
We can do that.
You can,
because-
this body can do that without that personnel committee.
Okay,
And I feel strongly because I sat on personnel
But I-
committees, and
yeah.
I think he has been with me too, and so
That's why I-
we're sitting there, and we ultimately, we listen, we understand, but it's ultimately this board that actually, the council will make the
Just a
final decision.
recommendation.
Yeah.
The recommendation, 99% of the time, pass it on to the council to make the decision, whereas clearly, if, Marcus, you're sitting, you're here now.
Yeah.
If we can save money for the county, it's a no-brainer.
yeah.
I move forward with it, and I don't want to waste time, we save money, and I'm getting going, let's do it.
That's fine with that. And I think she made good clarification, so we understood what we got here.
Thanks for pointing out that.
I'm
Turner.
still, are we just changing the job description or are we changing compensation also?
No, reclassifying it,
Or-
which will
That's
change
right.
compensation
Yeah.
to a different
Job
salary.
description, Yeah.
The job description and reclassifying as a billing specialist as opposed to an administrative assistant. So then we'll have a new
Title and
Um,
role.
salary band. It's not salary band.
Right.
What's range? Sorry, I'm like,
But my understanding is it should fall within the salary they're paying now. If there is an increase, it should still be within what we were paying as a outsource fee.
yes.
Less than $13,000.
It should be less than 13.
So what I'm hearing from her is,
And better
got
efficient
8,000.
collections.
8,000.
Top end $8,000.
Yeah.
So we're saying $5,000.
Yeah.
Here, I mean,
roughly,
Just
But,
don't let
but
them
that's,
leave them in.
but the 59,000 is the
is what
I
she's,
don't want 'em to
above
leave,
average in the
please.
state.
yeah, that's the average of the state, right?
Yes.
I think,
I'm gonna.
Go ahead.
I'm gonna guess that it's gonna be less than 59.
Yeah, because we're not Indianapolis.
And we are learning, so this is not, we're not hiring someone with 20 years of medical billing experience.
Right, right.
So,
I think with the number she told us there, and then she's got funding now for this will be our 26, this will be a 27 issue, we can deal, we can bring back.
Yeah, to ask for
data
appropriation.
for us for that tax
Well, we can
revenue.
reclassify now. Help me. We can reclassify the role now, and if she needs additional, because she said she has grant dollars, so if we wanted to move dollars to cover the reclassification, we could do that this year, correct?
Yes,
But we'd have to vote to change the salary ordinance, correct?
correct.
Okay, I'm just making sure I'm dotting my i's and crossing my t's.
But we don't need to change the salary ordinance.
Not today.
Grant.
Well, no, we do have to change the
Still have
salary
to
ordinance.
change the salary ordinance.
We just don't need to appropriate.
because we don't have the job description. But also, based off of 2025, if it, January through June, they were at 9,900, so that was, they were gonna be at 20,000 at the rate you were going. So
Yes.
it went up
Yeah, we were,
considerably.
yeah. That's
Their
right.
their contract, she said the contract was gonna be 10%.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's more than 2% additional, for sure.
It's probably timing of recording that.
It could be.
Oh, could be. Thank you. I appreciate
It's an
you.
accounting thing.
No, I know, that's why I appreciate you.
But still.
Yeah.
13 and 10. for
Looks like
6
it's gonna
months.
work well.
Okay, so
What's the will of the council then?
Yeah.
We need a motion to approve.
the reclassification,
I move we approve reclassification of the health department employee.
Second.
okay. Any other discussion? I have a question. Will she need to come back once we figure out what the salary band needs, range, the salary range needs to be to do the salary ordinance?
Yes.
I
Okay,
think it would be best.
all right. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed, same sign. Motion carries.
Thank you.
So I think your next steps are to work with Vicky to reclassify and re-salary range, and then work with Daleen on what that's gonna be, so she can bring the new salary ordinance before us. And potentially the transfer from your grant account to cover the reclassification
For 25,
for
26.
the rest of this year.
Yeah.
Okay,
Does that make sense?
so like next month?
Potentially, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, thank you. I got totally lost in all your.
That's
I was like, I don't know what's
That's why,
happening.
that's why I wanted to be directed, be like, next steps for you are,
Yeah,
Thank you very much.
you can celebrate now.
Okay, I appreciate
we have
that.
more work to do, so don't celebrate fully yet.
Cool down a little bit.
Well, yeah, she can cool down, let's put it that way.
Go outside.
What we do to this guy?
Thank you, I appreciate it.
All right, thank you. All right. Next up is our contract for legal services, which is also in our folder, correct,
Yes.
Daleen?
If there's no additionals, I think we've all seen it. I'll make a motion, to go ahead and accept the contract for legal service for 2026.
Second.
Mark has moved, Greg has second. Any questions?
You're an easy one.
Thank you.
All right, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Thank you, Mr. King. All right, County, yeah.
But if we didn't make this till now, we had to refer to him during the process this evening, we would have to stop, get the contract and start. So next year we. can do
Goodwill.
the
He was-
Service at the beginning in case something happens.
Oh, sure. Valid. All right, council appointments and members, board liaisons. I didn't hear from anyone that wanted to change their assignments
Think we, that probably reported back on the.
non-councils, on the appointees, everyone's good to go.
Correct. I
Yep,
give you my two, so.
yep,
I got Wilmer.
yep.
Brian is good for parks.
Yep, and we're good on, actually, when I talked to the planning commission, they're like, you don't have anyone up this year. Eric is good till 28. So we don't need to vote on Eric. He's good to 28. So I don't know if there was someone else I needed to check on, but Eric's good till 28 according to Jeff.
Do we need to vote on that list for appointments? If so,
Yes.
the document that was presented in the folder, I'll make a motion to accept that for appointments for the council for 2026.
Okay, is there a second?
So moved, just as a reminder, we had a correction. Is that all right?
Yes, with the correction.
The Eric Scheit correction.
Yes.
Correct.
All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Okay. The 2026 agreement for the Greater Economic Development. Is that in there?
I didn't see it.
I was gonna say, I was
Day, but no one dropped off the contract, the agreement, so.
Take a look.
Table it. Tabled. All right. Yeah, American Rescue Plan report.
So the American Rescue Plan, we started 2025 with $4 million. That $4 million has been designated for broadband improvements throughout the county. For those of you that do not remember or weren't here when it happened, in the throes of COVID, the federal government approved a 1.2 or something like that trillion with a T amount of money for improvements because of COVID. And Bartholomew County got $16.2 million. Of that, 10 million went to revenue replacement. The other 6 million went to designated projects. One of the designated projects was broadband, $4 million. The revenue replacement money had to be spent by the end of 2024, which it was. Everything of our American Rescue Plan money was spent by the end of 2024, other than broadband. So the broadband money we have to spend by the end of 2026. I do quarterly reports to the Department of Treasury. Done that ever since this thing started. So I am reporting to you. I have fulfilled my obligation with reporting. We still have $4 million. If it's not spent this year, it goes back to the federal government.
Okay.
So it's my understanding from Mr. London left the room that it is still in process, that this project is planning, that that the vendor will hit its marks. We will pay that money by the end of 26.
Can I ask a question? I know how the process there, we got down to the last 4 million. If that 4 million set for the last year or so, the interest made on that, do we have to spend that, or how is that done for that time period?
So the interest on that money, excellent question, Mark. The interest on that money has been able to be put back into the general fund.
Beautiful.
And you've invested and made a lot of money. coming.
So we've made somewhere around 4% on that money.
Fabulous.
Yes.
But that does not have to be earmarked on the parameters, what the rescue plan said, we can use it out of general or whatever.
We can use it for general, operations, whatever we want. As long as it is within the parameters of county government.
Good deal.
Any other questions? I have started getting some questions from community members on timing.
I get them on a regular basis.
Yeah, like they're anxious to get internet.
Yeah.
Wasn't there the company, wasn't there a problem with?
Yeah, the original company filed bankruptcy, but now they've got a new vendor.
Okay. But
I think those are
obligated
those
to
access
the
trucks. We see it all over the place.
I mean, they're like up and down my road, but I thought my road had it, so they're doing, something must have been broken and they're fixing it.
I don't know. I know US 31 does not have it and they are dying for it.
Oh, interesting.
Like where Gearing is.
Yeah, interesting.
I mean,
Well,
they are.
obviously, it's, with this type of weather, it's hard to,
Yeah, the ground's frozen.
yeah, exactly.
It's just
But,
been-
with $4 million on the line, I'm gonna guess that this vendor,
He's gonna do it.
their hair is gonna be on fire and do whatever they can do within their power to be able to satisfy their obligation to get that $4 million.
Yeah, and there's two sides of this, right? One is the infrastructure
Yeah,
install,
the fiber.
right, the fiber install. The other is the actual administration
All of it.
piece of
Right.
it. And I don't know, we have not, as a committee, the Broadband Initiative Committee
Has not met.
has not met to get up to date on
I was
this.
actually gonna ask you if you
Yeah.
guys meet. Well, I did ask Mr. London over the weekend about something because I had a constituent reach out to me. And he said they're working, it's going slower than we wanted, but they're back up working and it needs to be done by the end of the year.
My
I've seen
experience
people
was not
call
good
out
with them.
commissioners on Facebook occasionally.
They hooked mine up. It was down for a day. Within 2 weeks, they said if it's not as good as Starlink, then disconnect. I disconnected, requested a refund in November, called them for the third time last week, and still haven't gotten it.
From Gigabit,
Mainstream Fiber,
oh, from the fiber,
Mainstream
not
Fiber.
the internet provider.
Mainstream Fiber was the internet provider that signed me up.
Oh, interesting, because this is who I'm
Yeah,
with.
this is what I thought we were using. is
So
Gigabit
depending
now.
on the part of the county, you may have a different,
Yes.
I mean, I offer, well, I'm not gonna say it on the record, never mind.
My mother-in-law has it on 500 North and everything's been great, so.
And is she Gigabit or is she?
Are
And,
you sure you weren't with an imposter company?
That's who stopped by, was Mainstream Fiber.
Because when we started, and I'm making a little bit of an assumption here, which is dangerous, but when we started this, when we were bringing gigabit now to Columbus, we didn't have anything where we live. And I started getting all kinds of solicitation that we're coming to your neighborhood, so.
That is a valid, you should try to sign up for Gigabit, get your money back from this other company, but I think, I wish Tony was here, I think anyone can use the fiber.
Yeah.
Any company can provide you internet. I think.
I've talked to Tony about it. He knows.
Okay, so Tony's the expert. Okay,
Because it's different.
Got
than
10 months
like-
to spend the money.
I have both. I have an Xfinity line.
Yes.
And a county line. That's been run by my house for 2 years.
and it's not hooked up.
Xfinity hooked up, but the county line's not available. And it's 100.
Well, and I had Starlink before and was happy with Starlink, but this is faster, however, latency
Gotcha.
is still not great with the county fiber.
I use a little company out of Franklin called Internet Communications.
That, I was internet communications before I went Starlink.
I don't know if you'll be able to share this.
Okay. Any questions from the audience?
Can you shut this down so we can share something? Thanks. All right, oh, wait, you're not on.
Rainy day fund to look at.
Oh, yes, we do have rainy day to look at.
Yes, so we provided you all with a sheet on rainy day. Jayleen's
Pulling
not
it up.
hooked up to the Zoom, so She can't share it.
I'm hooked up to Zoom. I can share it.
Oh, okay, that'd be great. Thank you. Cause I don't have it in front of me, and so I can just speak in.
Okay. Let me make this bigger.
I can see this.
Okay.
So this, and there's a lot of accounting speak on here, so I apologize. And it's not just accounting speak, it is specific governmental accounting speak. So essentially, what this is showing is if you look at the 10% per statute number at the bottom, that is 10% of our 2025 budget with additionals. So that's the amount that if we would like to, we can transfer from the general fund to the rainy day fund.
Then put us at.
And we currently have in the general fund $35.4 million, the number just second to the last.
Yeah.
Our surplus, the 2025 surplus number, that's the amount that we had essentially left over.
That
from
we
25.
appropriated but didn't spend or encumber.
Yes, because what this is showing, if I start from the top, we had 41.2 million essentially budgeted with additionals. We had the amount of the encumbrances from 24, so we had that amount of available to spend, 45.586 million. We spent 38.5 million, gives us at the end an unexpended balance, but our department's encumbered 3.2 million, saying, oh, we really spent that, we just didn't get the bill yet.
Mhm.
So that leaves us the surplus of $3,896,162.21. And so it would be my proposal, based on this analysis, would be to transfer that 2025 surplus amount from the general fund to the rainy day fund.
The 3.896.
Yes. Now, if you want to, for easy math, to go 4 million, we can go 4 million.
Then put us balance at what then after that,
Well, it will get our
roughly?
county general cash balance would be
431.
it's still $31 million.
And it would take our rainy day up to what?
So our rainy day fund currently
19.
is at 15 point something million.
848.
So to put us at 19 million.
So if we-
Now, one thing you may want to back off of that a little bit, or, I mean, we're fine. Our general fund has a bunch of money in it, and we're very fortunate. You did just approve an extra 1.5 to be spent out of there.
So maybe we take that out of the rainy, like, instead of doing 4, we do 2.5 because we're gonna give 1.5 to roads. I
Exactly,
hear what you're saying.
exactly.
And if you said it, I apologize, but the 10% per statute, what is that?
That is 10% of the amount that we budgeted with additionals, and that's the amount that we would be able to transfer to
By law.
the rainy day fund from our general fund by law.
So do we need a motion to move 2.5 million over to the rainy day fund then?
So
Yeah, I had that part. I just-
if that's what we choose to do, we will, but we'll have to do that at the next meeting because
We have to advertise.
Okay.
So what's the?
However, and so I wanted to have this discussion since we're here and since we haven't yet hit the magic hour of 1 hour of this meeting. We just saved time. We didn't have to come back and have a threaded, work session.
Work sessions are coming.
Instead, we had this conversation.
I like the concept of the 3.896 million less the 1.5
I
million.
agree.
Yeah.
I'm fine with that.
Transferred
Yeah.
to the road department. So next meeting, we could,
Work the numbers.
whatever that number is.
we could.
And you want to do from the 3.86, or do you want to do round numbers and from the?
I like 2.5.
Yeah.
Like, do we
I
want to
like the
just
2.5.
say, let's move 2.5? What should,
Yeah, 2.5 is fine.
you're my finance guy, so like,
It doesn't, it's.
we're all like ish, and you're like.
numbers. I like to round them off.
You can still pull from the rainy day fund and spend it.
It's okay. It's close enough.
So 2.5 ish.
tonight, is it?
Well, yeah, if it does that, I'll change my
If it
mind.
keeps me awake, we got enough.
Yeah,
So,
Yeah.
we can work
if we
on it.
advertise 2.5, we have
Correct.
plenty,
That's what
then
they're saying.
if we decide to do a little less.
That's what they gave.
As long as, I mean, the maximum we can do is 4,119,000.
Correct.
Anything less of that is fine.
Correct. And, I mean, we just heard Tony say that there's another youth services center discussion coming, so
Yes,
there's plenty of places for the.
Yeah,
dollars to
because
go.
that's, in the big picture, the thing, that's we were talking about at budget, by setting money aside, and how we're going to fund that going down the road.
Yep.
That's our big one, right?
Yes.
yeah. Well,
Is there anything else that's big that we need to?
not that big.
Yeah, not that big.
I mean, Todd's 5-year plan is the next biggest thing.
2 million.
Yeah.
In the back for lines to keep.
Yeah.
Okay.
But also know our revenues are decreasing starting next year with pay 27 with the changes in SEA 1. And it's going to be another 2 years before those income tax make up. So we're going to be going like this. So we've got to be able to stomach that.
And realize why.
Yeah,
And I was at the legislative conference last week and did get to talk to Senator Walker briefly, and I said, what are we doing about road funding? You know, since we got,
Zilch.
but since we got shut out
Yeah.
on the community crossing, they're still talking about how to change up some of these things and make it so that it's not competitive. And so more to come on that, but as we've probably all seen in the communication as to what's going on at the State House, it's not a lot, but then something could pop up. So,
no, it's February 27th or 28th, the last day of September.
so there, somebody mentioned that there's some talk about on the next round, it would be opened up for people that did not get it on this first round,
Oh,
on
fascinating.
the community crossings. But I don't know, and
It's from next
they're
year.
still, they're still holding our feet to the fire about the fact that we don't have a wheel tax
Oh, yeah.
versus,
It's a Danny question.
so there's still talk about that.
Did they do 2 rounds last year or
For
just
community
1
crossings.
round?
Danny?
Well, we had it was a different fiscal year because the state switched from the calendar year to the fiscal year. So we had one in 25. And then the one that they had in the fall 25, they called 26. So then 27 is not going to be until July of 26.
Okay.
County commissioners pointed out this morning at the meeting, if you look up there, we have 2 windows that got broke.
Oh,
I
yeah, you're
noticed
right.
that when I was sitting here.
So they're aware of it. They think maybe it could be connected with snow or removal, didn't they think that was a possibility?
Snow
Yeah, something
removal.
came off the plow when they were plowing the road.
And as Danny said, it's a state.
It's not us. That's us.
I love it.
But it had to be
We already did
replaced,
that.
so.
The other thing one of my takeaways from the legislative session was they're definitely talking about things that need to be corrected from SEA 1.
Yeah.
There is a large bill that's they're calling it the DLGF bill. That's the kitchen sink bill. Things are being thrown into it. So that's the one to watch as to how things are changing. We had an auditor's breakout session. They talked about the fact that there is some scuttlebutt that they might kick the income tax change to a further year. Everybody's hair kind of went on fire in the room and said, no, we need to be able to make those changes so that we're able to make ourselves whole with the change in lits versus the property tax thing, so
That's what I'm really worried about, if they are gonna kick this, because they can't figure it out, and now the school funding is starting to be on fire.
So keep an eye out on what's going on at the state legislature, if you're close with, you know, any of the representatives or the senators, and you see something, talk to them about it.
In reality, if we speak reality, it is election year and it may not.
But the property tax stuff is rolling, so that means it could be 3 years of down revenue. Because the property tax stuff's already rolling.
And state is definitely, they see those numbers, so. You know, next year at 27 Crossroads, we're not gonna be
Well, no, because we won't have the wheel tax.
right. Boards.
That's all I have.
Okay, any updates on boards and committees, commissions from any of the council members?
Sheriff Department, give me a sec. I was reappointed as chairman, president of the solid waste,
Congratulations.
which is just fine,
It is.
because there's a good group of elected professionals there, so,
Awesome.
not a problem.
The sheriff department head count, they have 2 open spots, 2 in training. So they're currently operating at 5 techs.
That's actually a win, only 5 down.
Communications, I met Friday, had nothing really done. Other than, Marcus.
Yeah, so, Kim and I met with Brad last, Monday?
Yep.
And, had a great conversation with him as we look forward to, continuing proper funding for community corrections going into the next budget year, but, he shared a lot of good information. He's still collecting data for Daleen, I think he's still working on that, isn't he? So there's more data to come in, and so we'll wait for that. But it was a productive meeting, and we told him we would think it would be beneficial to meet similar to what we do in sheriff's department, so that, you know, groups of us can understand
Agreed.
things ahead of time.
Great idea.
Because there is a lot, it's a lot more than what we sometimes realize, so.
Completely agree. And I think there's collateral damage that can happen when we don't fund something here. It's just gonna
Oh,
cause.
it's, big time.
It is.
We
It's
have
not-
to do
it's not
something.
clean.
It's not saying, we can't do anything. We gotta do something.
Right.
so.
And we also just kind of shared it. We want to see something different from Brad, that we need to communicate that
I
to
agree.
Brad.
I agree.
The same for all
Department heads,
all department heads. If we want something different
to tell them what we want.
I think that's what's helping us now, because, I mean, the community probably doesn't see it, but we have subgroups going out, talking to department heads, because it's hard to get all that data in here, and I think, Michael, you've got an update too.
Well, I've got an update. I looked at the health insurance.
Yes.
For the county and the plan design. We're in a very, very healthy position. All the bills are being paid, everything's being done timely, no problems there. The earnings off of the reserves that are there were about 4.3% over 200 plus $1,000 last year. So that went in to help reduce the county's expense on that. But it just dawned on me when I was looking at the statement of cash spreadsheet, the $4.8 million in reserves under the health insurance plan, it's not reflected on here anywhere, is it?
No,
Never
it's
is.
separate.
So that's a totally separate $4.8 million off the books number.
Yeah, because we paid it out of the county funds, so it's at Dunn and Associates.
Dunn is holding that and investing those, that's fine.
Well, I have a problem with it.
So. Yeah, but also, and that represents about 8.5 months worth of expenses, which is pretty strong. I mean, the typical, advice on how much money you should have in your bank account to operate in case something happens is anywhere from 3 to 6 months. So 8.5 months is a little bit more than I would say
We need,
that's necessary. So we could probably comfortably scale that back to 3.5 million.
I'm gonna caution that, because
Yeah.
11 years ago, I was here when we robbed Peter to pay Paul
Yeah.
to pay our medical bills, and we set that number high enough that we would not slip back
Yeah.
for something major to happen. So I think we're in a good position now, excellent position, so.
But I definitely don't think it needs to be increased.
Right, right.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes.
So if someone comes to crying saying we need more in reserves, that's gonna be a bit of a stretch.
I'm with you though.
Yeah.
So,
Well, and there's a cyclical cash flow with that fund that I think is hard for some people to understand. And right now, it's lower than what they at times would like. But that's because at the beginning of the year, we have bills from December activities.
Which is usually busy.
Yes,
Using up.
so.
One other thing on community corrections, if you want to learn more about the benefits of having that, I encourage you, I attended these last year. RAP graduation is April the 15th. And that will remind you of how important this budget for this program is, because without it, we instead would be knowing that there's people visiting them incarcerated.
Yeah.
And then the other one is round graduation. I did miss it last year, unfortunately, but it's May 13th. It's on your email. You had it back on January the 15th. Encourage you to go to that. They haven't set a date for anything on veterans. I went to that. I think Kim was there with me. It was wonderful to see how we're working with our veterans and our community, and Judge Wharton is doing a great job, but he's not the only one, but it's his
Yeah.
courtroom you go to, and it's great.
Awesome.
That reminded me, though, it's off the top of it, any more of the opiate settlement monies that from Purdue or Pop, the last one I lost track of, if they were planning on having another meeting from the funding board, because their patients are coming in now. I just didn't remember getting an update or
Right.
anything.
I can't remember. I mean, we get deposits to that type of stuff all the time.
I just didn't know if there was anything new with it. I haven't heard anything. You know what? We're at that stage. I'll make a motion to adjourn the meeting tonight.
I'll second that.
Great, you ready to go?
Oh, cool.
Let's
Yeah.
Cole Bennett from Columbus. Can you go over what you were talking about with the surplus? Are you guys moving $2.5 million to the rainy day
His
fund?
first
Yes.
reading.
Yes, yes, we have to advertise that, so the next time we meet, it will be advertised and then we will move it. Great question.
Then what happens with the rest of the surplus dollars?
It remains in the general fund to cash flow the bills.
Thank you.
Great question. All right, there's a motion and second. All those in favor?
Aye.
all right.
Motion passes.